The Enchanted Garden. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a beautiful garden, unlike any other. It was a magical place, full of vibrant flowers and exotic trees that danced to the music of the wind. Overlooking this enchanted garden was a mighty castle, where lived the kind and just king and queen. For as long as anyone could remember, the garden had been under the threat of the wicked witch who lived in the dark forest beyond the castle walls. Every night, she would send her minions to destroy the beauty of the garden with their black magic spells. The king and queen tried everything they could to protect their beloved garden, but to no avail. One day, a little girl named Lily came to visit the castle. She was enamored by the beauty of the garden, and as she played, she noticed that the flowers were whispering to her. They told her about the wicked witch and how she was destroying the garden with her dark magic. Lily knew she had to do something. The next day, when the sun rose, Lily went to the king and queen and told them that she would defeat the witch and save the garden. The king and queen were hesitant at first, but Lily's determination convinced them to let her try. Lily went to the flower fairy, who gifted her with a magical flute. It had the power to call forth the creatures of the forest who could help her defeat the witch. Lily set out on her journey, playing her flute as she walked deeper into the forest. As she walked, she met a talking rabbit, a mischievous fox, a wise owl, and a friendly deer. With each new friend, Lily's confidence grew, and together they reached the witch's lair. The witch was waiting for them, and with a flick of her wand, she sent her minions to attack. But Lily and her newfound friends were ready. They fought bravely and defeated the minions one by one until there were none left. With the minions defeated, the witch came out of her lair and challenged Lily to a duel. But Lily's friends came to her aid, and with their help, she managed to defeat the witch. As the witch fell, she disappeared in a puff of smoke, and the garden was restored to its former glory. The king and queen were overjoyed and honored Lily for her bravery and kindness. From that day on, the garden was protected, and Lily became the magical garden adventure. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a young girl named Lily who loved nothing more than playing outside in her garden. She would spend hours tending to the flowers and herbs that grew there, but one day, she stumbled upon a hidden path she had never seen before. Curious as ever, she decided to follow the path, which led her deep into the forest. As she walked further and further, she came across a clearing where she saw a beautiful garden, unlike any she had ever seen before. The flowers glittered with the morning dew, and the leaves of the trees rustled in the gentle breeze. But something else was also different about this garden. The flowers and plants were all enchanted. Lily was amazed by what she saw, and she couldn't help but explore every inch of the garden. She saw that the enchantment allowed the plants to talk, and she soon made friends with them. The flowers whispered secrets to her, and the trees swayed gently to comfort her. One day, while she was walking through the garden, she received a message from the queen of the enchanted realm, who ruled over the magical garden. The queen asked her to help save the garden from a curse that had befallen it. An evil sorcerer had placed a spell on the garden, and it was slowly dying. Lily accepted the challenge and set out to find the sorcerer. She journeyed through forests, crossed dangerous rivers, and climbed steep mountains until she finally found him. With a brave heart and a determined spirit, she faced off against the wicked sorcerer and broke his curse. The magical garden was saved, and Lily was hailed as its hero. The queen of the enchanted realm bestowed upon Lily a special gift, a wand that could summon magic wherever she went. She could now bring the magic of the garden with her wherever she went. From that day on, Lily used her magic wand to bring joy and happiness everywhere she went. And though she had saved the garden, it was the garden that had saved her by teaching her how a little bit of magic can go a long way in making the world a better place. And they all lived happily ever after. The beautiful enchanted forest. Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there was a beautiful enchanted forest. This forest was home to magical creatures like fairies, unicorns, and talking trees. The people of the kingdom were always curious about the forest but never dared to enter it as they feared the magic that was within. One day, a little girl named Lily wandered into the enchanted forest while looking for her lost kitten, Snowball. As she walked deeper into the forest, she came across a group of friendly fairies who were having a tea party. They gave her some delicious fairy cakes and helped her search for her kitten. As they searched, they found themselves in front of a big castle that belonged to the evil witch. The witch had cast a spell on the entire forest, making all its creatures sick. Even the trees were losing their magic. Feeling brave, Lily and the fairies decided to sneak into the castle to break the spell. As they stepped inside, they were greeted by the wicked witch herself. But Lily wasn't afraid. She bravely told the witch she wanted to help her creatures and pleaded with her to remove the spell. At first, the witch laughed at her and said that the spell could never be broken. But as Lily continued to plead, the witch began to see the goodness in her heart. Moved by her bravery and kind spirit, the witch finally agreed to break the spell. All the magical creatures of the forest were cured, and the forest was restored to its former glory. The trees were once again tall and majestic, the fairies danced around happily, and the unicorns pranced around in the sunshine. From that day on, the people of the kingdom were no longer scared of the enchanted forest. They would often visit to see the magic that had been restored, and Lily became known as the hero who saved the forest. And so, the enchanted forest remained a place of wonder and magic, home to all kinds of wonderful creatures that could only be found in fairy tales. The end. The Enchanted Forest Adventure. Once upon a time in a far-off kingdom, there lived a little girl named Lily. She loved nothing more than to explore the vast and wild forests that surrounded her home. One day, she ventured further than ever before and stumbled upon an enchanted forest. The forest was like no other, the trees were tall and ancient, and their branches were adorned with sparkling jewels that glimmered in the sunlight. As Lily explored deeper into the forest, she came across a clearing where she saw a group of animals gathered around a small pond. The animals were all talking amongst themselves, and as soon as they saw Lily, they all went silent and stared at her. As she approached them, they introduced themselves as the guardians of the forest and explained how they had been watching over it for many years. Lily was fascinated by their stories and asked if she could join them on their adventures. The animals agreed, and so began Lily's journey through the enchanted forest. Together, they discovered hidden waterfalls, secret caves, and even found a magical tree that spoke to them in a language only they could understand. The tree told them about an evil sorcerer who had cursed the forest many years ago, causing it to become enchanted. The only way to break the curse was to find a rare flower that only grew on the opposite side of the forest. Lily and her newfound animal friends knew that they had to find this flower and so set out on their greatest adventure yet. They crossed rushing rivers, climbed steep mountains, and faced many dangers along the way. Finally, after many long days, they found the rare flower and brought it back to the magical tree. The tree used the flower's magic to break the curse, and the forest returned to its normal state. The animals thanked Lily for her help and named her the honorary guardian of the forest. From that day on, Lily and her animal friends would often venture into the enchanted forest, but this time it was a place of beauty and wonder rather than danger. And so, Lily learned that by being brave and kind, she could make a difference in the world around her, no matter how big or small.